Welcome back. It's that time of year where we're going to start to get warmer months, and they have pesky mosquitoes. Welcome back. Nice to have you here from Orange County Vector. It's actually such a longer name now.
Yes.
Has it always been that long?
It has. It's Orange County Mosquito and Vector Control District.
Right, got it. All right, well, we have Heather Highland here. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
And like I mentioned, we are definitely going to be moving into the warmer months, and there's so many ways that mosquitoes are hatching and being just annoying as heck. So,
yes.
You know, before I get into exactly what we're talking about, tell me a little bit about your position and what is the responsibility of the district here in the village.
So in terms of Laguna Woods, we conduct wide area control for large sources, but when it comes to residents, we provide free inspection, so you can just call our number, 714-971-2421. 714-971-2421. But you can always go to our website, ocvector.org, and sign up for a free inspection. If you feel like you have done your due diligence, you have drained all the water, you're looking at your saucers, you're looking everywhere, that's when you can call us and say, I'm having an issue, and we can definitely get down to the problem. What we're seeing in Laguna Woods is there's a lot of residents with saucers. And with this new invasive species that everyone calls it the ankle biter, the Aedes mosquito, it's a backyard breeding mosquito. So while we're conducting wide area control for the native species, right, this new invasive species is coming in, laying eggs in tiny containers in backyards.
Okay.
So what we're asking residents, it's small, black and white striped, aggressive daytime biting machine, can bite through clothing if it's tightly up against your skin. So this is a whole new mosquito that people aren't used to. And what we're seeing, we've had a lot of cold weather lately, but we're still seeing that these mosquitoes are surviving through cold weather.
Boy. Huh. So how is it that, are they adapting and sort of evolving into being able to be a year-round situation?
We're almost seeing that it's almost year-round that they're able to survive. So they can survive cooler weather. They adapt very well. They're highly resistant to chemicals, so we can't even go that route.
Oh, wow.
So what we're saying is if you wear repellent, you go on our website, we have different types of ingredients that work with this type of species.
Okay.
You're looking at ingredients like DEET, 20% or higher, IR 3535, picaridin, and oil of lemon eucalyptus. So if you go on the website, make sure that the repellent is EPA registered, because that means it's been tested. It's been tested.
For this particular mosquito?
For this particular mosquito and others that are here in this area that have the potential to transmit West Nile virus.
Okay.
Right.
And one thing I think that's interesting that you mentioned is that you said through tight clothing.
Yes.
So we always thought that if you wore something long sleeve, regardless of the material, that it would ward off any mosquitoes.
Yeah. So what we see is loose clothing. So loose long sleeve clothing is better. If you're wearing leggings, they have the potential to bite through clothing that's up against your skin, because they're such aggressive biters.
Wow.
They can get through there if they want. Also, this mosquito is different in the sense that it bites multiple times, which makes it an aggressive biter. So if you have even one mosquito near you, it could bite you 8 to 10 times, and you think you're being bombarded by
a variety of them.
Yeah.
Where are we seeing most of these mosquitoes? I know you said in small containers, such as?
So we're seeing them in saucers, bird baths, recyclables. If you look at this particular picture right here, even a little bit of water along the saucer can breed mosquitoes. Even a water cap, a water bottle cap, we're seeing them breed in very cryptic areas. Drains, we are seeing them a lot in the yard drains, so it's good to just flush them out. Or you can go to a hardware store and get mosquito dunks or bits, and you can sprinkle those in your drain. We have that on our website as well to show you how to do that. So how to maintain your drain, look around your entire yard to see where water is pooling up. We're also seeing them in a lot of, during the summer, parents have the water tables out for their kids or toys out.
Oh, gosh.
Those can, we're talking mosquitoes can grow from a little egg into a biting adult 5 to 7 days.
Oh, wow.
So even if you have that water table out for a week, it has the potential to grow mosquitoes.
Okay, that's a really good point because you know, we have an awful lot of saucers here and bird bass. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you about the bird bass is many people say don't put anything in the water because it's going to kill the birds. Now, what happens when you're trying to treat for mosquitoes?
Yes. Well, for bird baths, I think that's easy where you can just flush it out and just replenish the water every week or so.
Okay.
You can put on, you know, any website, you can get a little disc that has a solar panel on top that makes the water wiggle and move.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, if it moves, the mosquitoes won't lay eggs on there. I turned my parents' bird bath because it was behind their house and they couldn't really look at it. I filled it up with succulent plants.
Okay.
Or you can put the dunks in the water. It doesn't affect wildlife, so it won't affect birds or fish. It will just affect larval forms.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, great. Now, another thing that's interesting, you talked about repellents, but that was really more of something that we would put on our bodies. What about repellents in our yard?
I wouldn't, are you talking about like a barrier spray or
Well,
something?
sometimes they have those ones that you could spray and like a barrier spray. Do those
I mean,
work?
those can work. I've heard the ones that you put on your belt with the fan, those have the potential to work because it's spraying the repellent out and deterring the mosquito.
Okay.
Citronella plants or the candles don't necessarily work because the mosquito's still smelling the CO2 coming out of your body. That's why repellents are the best way to protect yourself because it's on your body and it's protecting your body.
Okay, and then tell me a little bit about this sterile insect technique. What is that?
Because the invasive Aedes is so hard to control and it's a daytime biting machine, this is something that has been around for a while in terms of pests. So what we would do is sterilize the male mosquitoes that don't bite, and we would send them out in a large group of a population to mate with the wild females, and that would decrease the population of this species. So what we're saying is this is a technique we're looking into. It's a tool we're putting into our toolbox. This is something that other counties have done. Fresno County has done it. A lot of vector control agencies in Florida, because they have a large abundance of Aedes, have tried this technique. It does work to decrease the population, but this isn't the end all. This isn't the cure. These mosquitoes will still be around, but it's a way to really decrease the population so we're not having a lot of them biting. But we're still asking residents, still do your due diligence. This is just something we're looking into, and it's going to take years to really kind of manifest this and have that population grow. Male mosquitoes only last a week, so to really get that large colony going, work with other agencies across the state on this type of program. But we're doing our due diligence to really get that data, that science, and see what works, what doesn't work. So it'll be about 3 to 5 years before we're really implementing this into a county-wide program. But this is something that can really help.
It's great. I mean, it's great. And then, of course, we often do see inspectors here around Laguna Woods Village doing lots of different research and collecting data, like you had mentioned. What are some things that we'll be seeing them do here over the course of the next couple months?
So during the heavy summer months, you will see them probably hanging a trap. It'll have a large yellow sign that will have our logo on there. You can always go up to an inspector and say, you know, I've seen A, B, or C. Can you help with this? They will put it in our data log. I know residents talk about Aliso Creek.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about Aliso Creek. We routinely check that every week during the summer, sometimes once a month, depending on the season. We do have a relationship with OC Public Works and the county that has jurisdiction over that creek. So we work hand in hand with several departments across the board to look at Aliso Creek. Remember that you have to get a permit to maintain a lot of the wildlife, all of the plants in there as well. The vegetation has to be under control. That's something that they have. We're trying to mitigate to make sure mosquitoes aren't breeding. So far, there's no breeding. There's fish in that creek eating the larvae, so it is under control. If you are being bitten, it's probably the Aedes mosquitoes biting you around your neighborhood.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for the information, as always.
You're welcome.
All right. If you want more information about anything that we have discussed, you can always go to ocvector.org. We'll be right back.